Hello everybody, Iain Robson here, and welcome back to Chellington Farm. Alright, we got what's going on today. If you recall from the previous episode, we were talking about what to do about the front loader situation. And some of you may have said sell the cultivator, some of you may not have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sell the cultivator and see how much money we end up with. Let's just see, 5,600. That's probably just enough to buy the front loader. So 5,400, and that'll leave us with we're probably gonna be just a tiny bit short. Is there any other kind of implement we could use which is a bit cheaper? We could use that, but it's not quite the right style. Alright, let's go ahead and buy this, and we're left with 810. So we could get the bale spike. For the bales we have out right now, that's not going to be very helpful, unfortunately. But what I did realize is the fact that we have a perfectly good baler over here. And when the contractors came in and harvested our fields, we had the straw left over. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bale up some of the straw and sell it. I think that'd be a really good way of making a little bit of extra money on this map, because we are hurting right now a little bit for money. So I think this would be a good little way of making just a little bit of extra cash, basically, to get us over this hump that we have right now, because we don't have very much money due to the fact that we just bought this fancy new John Deere tractor. I do like the sound of this tractor too. It's got a really nice sound to it. There we go. Don't know why the mirror's not working there. That's strange. Oh, there it goes. That's weird. Alright. Yeah, this is the one thing I've noticed. When you're driving over these little sections right here, I don't know if I can bring it up. Is it F5? Yeah. So, if you look at the way this is set up, what happens is your trailer actually gets like down in some of these gullies right here, made by all the various things, and what happens is the implements actually get stuck on them, and it creates a bit of a problem. So I'll just try and demonstrate that here. So see right here, oops. So see right here, I'm just going to flash the light on it. We don't need that up. So see right there, where the stand right there is actually hitting the top of this little hump. And that can create a lot of problems when you're trucking things around and whatnot. So, anyhow, just a little side note there. So as you can see, a little bit of having a hard time there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bale up some of this. So let's go ahead and turn our baler on. There we go. Let it change the RPM. Did it? I don't think it did. And we'll lower the actual pickup. There we go. And we'll change this out to, we had it up before, which was 10 kilometers an hour. So what we'll do is we'll bale up this little section right here, and hopefully we'll make some extra money from this. So the nice thing about this little setup is that with the drive control mod, with the way it's set up, you can actually kind of drive a little bit yourself, and once you've driven a little bit yourself, then you can kind of hit the cruise control button. So like, well, I'll demonstrate it now. So I'm doing 25 kilometers an hour, which is slightly unrealistic. So I'm just going to drive a little bit and watch what happens. So I'm going to come up to about 80%, and they're going to hit that cruise control. And the cruise control stops at 100%. So because it's set so slow, what actually it does is it decelerates. And then you can just pop out the bale and then continue on your way. So that's one way you can do it. Or you can just, of course, just cruise at 10 kilometers an hour. So if you're wondering why there's two different two different I don't know, headlands on this particular piece of land, or this particular field, is because remember in the very first episode we actually harvested we did a headland on this field with a smaller combine, and then we sold the smaller combine. So that's the reason why we have this small little headland right here right now, and then that's why there's a bigger one that was from the contractors when they came in and did their job. So, but this is the reason why we got this tractor as opposed to some other tractors, is because this one actually has the power in order to be able to do this, whereas the other tractor didn't have that capability, which was a bit of a... It's not going to roll down the hill. Actually, funny story. I was back home in my hometown not too long ago, and this guy was obviously baling some alfalfa, it looked like, for his cows. And what happened was he was on a little bit of a hill, and the bale actually rolled down the hill and into his other crop, which was oats. Really funny. Well, it looked funny, but it probably wasn't I imagine the farmer wasn't too pleased about it. But it happens from time to time, you know. You can't win all the time, right? So, just one of those things that happens. So he ran into that situation where he obviously didn't mean to do that, but it's just the way it worked out, so... There we go. Just pop that bale out there. I think that little gauge right there actually works. No, it doesn't. Or does it? No. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it worked or not. It's one of those things where I was hoping it would work, because it'd be really cool if it did actually work, because then you could see it in action. But unfortunately, that was one thing the Giants didn't add. But c'est la vie. Alright, nice. It's funny, you can tell when the bale's out when it just hops a little bit. I suppose that's what it does in real life, because all the weight is in the baler, because you're holding out X number of pounds of hay or straw, whatever it happens to be. And then you release it, sort of thing. So we're getting a ton of straw bales off this. Like, how far was that in comparison to the last bale? Not very far. Whoa. Not very far at all. I thought for sure we were gonna go a little bit further, but it looks like we're gonna get quite a few bales off this. So let's just check the weather forecast while we're just chilling out here. Thankfully there's sun today, so I don't have to worry about them getting rained on, because of course with the bale extension, you actually do have to worry about your bales getting rained on, because what will happen is if you don't put your bales away, you'll actually I don't know what you'd call it, how good the material is actually decreases over time if you don't put them under shelter. So speaking of that, let's just turn this off for a quick sec, and let's head to here. Not to this guy. Let's drive this guy back to the there we go. Excellent. And what I'm just curious about is whether or not we actually have a sell point. I'm pretty sure there's a sell point at our main farm. So what I'll do is I'll meet you back there in a moment. Alright, just back at the farm right here, and it looks like this is our sell point for the straw right here. Oops, got the flashlight on still. I was like, why does it look so strange? So this is the sell point for the straw right here. I suppose you could sell hay there too if you wanted to, but that's where it is right there. So it's nicely situated in the farm, which is excellent for us. This is very good. Alright, let's get back to baling there. Anyways, just wanted to double check where that actually was. Is it still lowered? Yes, it's still lowered. There we go. Yeah, so that's where you can sell the straw. So that's what we'll do, is we'll sell the straw right there. which will be good for us. Oops, apparently we're full already. Which will be good because then we'll be able to make a little bit of money. I don't know how much we're gonna get. Actually, I can actually check that. Thinking about it, with the bale extension, it tells you how much you make per bale. So $72 for a bale. So that gives you an idea. And how many bales have we made this session? We can check that as well. Created bales 8 this session so far. So I've only done the headland so far. So I think we will make a good amount of money by selling these bales, at least enough to get a few things. So what we can do actually is let's just how much money do we have? $800. So what we can do is let's go into front loader. We could buy the bale spike. Let's just check to see if we have anything that's a bit better for our purposes. Looks like that's a no there. And oops, let's check miscellaneous real quick. No, looks like bale spike. We could. What we'll do is let's get the bale spike, so we can actually move a couple bales manually. Front loaders, which is over here. So this will allow us to at least move the straw bales without having to worry about problems. And then what we can do after that is we can sell a couple just directly and then go from there basically. But now we really have no money at all. So, which is unfortunate, but it happens. So, there you have it. Yeah, we're gonna get a ton of straw bales. Like, just thinking about how much we're gonna get just from this little section. Just gonna get a ton. I haven't even done the headland yet, so that's 9 bales already. So I'll be curious to see how many we get in the end. It'll be quite interesting to see how many we get in the end. So what I'll do is I will continue baling here for a bit, and I'll come back once once I'm maybe halfway done or something like that. So I will see you in a bit. All right, just working on the little bits and pieces of the headland that I missed. And, oops, going too fast now. As you can see, I'm running into the same situation that farmer did I was mentioning about the bales rolling down the hill. Anyhow, so yeah, as you can see, we have quite a few bales. Like, we have 35 so far, and we haven't, I've just gone around the edges so far. I haven't even gone up and down yet. So, just to give you an idea. Anyways, I'll be back. Alright, I'm not quite finished the field yet, but I'm just going to go and pick up the front loader and the forks, just because we are going in the minus now, and I just wanted to pick up a couple bales and try and keep us in the positive. So we'll see what happens. As you can see, I just left the baler in the field there for the time being. I'll come back to it in a bit. The nice thing about it is the fact that we bought it and we didn't rent it or anything like that, so we can just leave it there. It doesn't cost us any money. Anyways, I'll be back when I have the front forks. Alright, just picked up the front forks from the shop, and we're just heading back to the farm now. Trying to figure out a good position for these things. Many people say different things. A lot of people say you should point your forks down like this. A lot of people say you should have them high or low. I'm just gonna put them high, well, maybe low. Somewhere where I can just make it so I can still see, basically. Everyone says something a little different. Everyone has their own opinions about this. Honestly, I don't know if there's like a guidebook, because I know there's in England you have to get a license to drive a tractor, but you don't here in Canada, as far as I know. So I don't know how that works. But I don't know if there's anything in the guidebook about where you're supposed to have your forks positioned. That'd be kind of interesting to see what they say about that, actually. I'd be kind of curious to see that. And whether or not there's something in there about that. So if you have your tractor driver's license, let me know if they say anything in the book itself about positioning forks. I know I've asked this question before, but this is more specific about in the book itself. Do they say anything about positioning of the forks? For example, when you have a bale spike on it and whatnot. Your safest bet's probably having a bale on there, to be honest with you. But I'm not an expert, so. Alright, so here we're coming into the field right here. It's excellent, and what we'll do is we'll grab one of these bales right here. Now, as it gets closer to the fall, one thing that people need to keep in mind is the fact that... Wow, did I miss that, really? One thing people need to keep in mind is the fact that the Farm Sim wheel and the Farm Sim wheel is actually coming out soon, so you'll be able to use the side panel, whatever you want to call it, for Farm Sim, which would be kind of interesting, actually, to see how that works with front loading, whether that'll make it a more enjoyable experience. They've kind of geared it towards forestry, from the advertisements at least. Probably should keep this a bit lower. Based on what it seems like, they've geared it more towards forestry side of things, but it'll be curious to see how much of it is actually forestry, or how much, I don't know, how it's used, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So if I had got the other 3650 John Deere, I wouldn't have been able to hold up this bale, I don't think. It didn't, every time I try to pick something up with it, it never seemed to work properly, but this one seems to work well. Alright, so let's just go verify how much we're actually going to make from this bale of straw. I'm going to be, if it's 72, hey, at least we know it's 72 now. Alright, the survey says 72, yep, bang on. Alright, so we know how much each of them costs, so we only need to put, like, 10 bales in there to make 700 only. Anyways, folks, what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of that off camera, and I'll continue baling off camera. But until then, I'll end the episode here for now, folks. Let me know what we should work on next. What do you think we should work on next on Chellington Farm? I know I said originally we're going to go ahead and get some sheep, and we're still going to do that. We kind of on a good path towards sheep now. Now we have a baler. We're actually going to need a tedder for sheep, so we can feed them some dry grass, because we can't feed them silage. No, I don't think you can in this game. Not with... You can feed them TMR, but not silage, so I could make TMR, I suppose. And for TMR we would need dry grass anyways, so doesn't make a difference. Anyways, folks, what should we work on next? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, my name's Iain Robson. This has been Chellington Farm, coming at you from Farm Sim 2015. I suppose it should be the other way around. Anyways, if you enjoyed yourself, why don't you go ahead and hit that share button. I really appreciate that. Catch you guys later.